Pull it around and tie it. Okay. But I love the fact of with the pleated, because I bought one used that was like tied in the back.
Walk on the other side and look like this. Cold cellar. We'll go down to the cold cellar.
I was in the slave quarters. Go ahead, walk natural. You guys are good.
Come on down.
So cool.
Steve's gonna laugh if you fall.
Oh my god, I love this.
Hey, Hannah, your cell phone's falling.
My what?
Your cell phone's falling.
Oh, thank you.
We're in
George Taylor House.
No, I know that. I'm saying, what?
Oh, the cellar.
This is the cold cellar, so this is where they keep the food to keep cool. This stays approximately 55 degrees. There's a cistern over here where there's water in it. It goes down about 60 feet to the bottom of it. The water varies on whatever the rain is. The coolness from the water would come up here and then come inside here and keep this all cool. So,
Wow, this is cool. I've been here before, but just for Christmas.
oh, okay.
So I'm like, this is so neat.
You didn't come down here for Christmas time?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
they had this closed.
Okay.
I went into the shop, but I didn't know about this.
Great. This is where they keep the food in, and at the top of the stairs, there's a smoke house, but it's really not open. So there's a beer refrigerator over here.
I'll
With the
take a
smoker.
picture of them, yeah.
Watch this stairs. There's some easy slippery.
Really cool.
Smoke house.
He did have slaves, right?
Yes.
Because I saw some of the militiamen, like there were some guys playing the instruments and they were dressed as slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he had 3. I don't remember their names, but they stayed with him till he died.
Yeah.
So he did.
Did he have quarters for them here?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where. We could
Look at this real
speculate the
quick.
attic. We could speculate above. It would have been above here because this would have existed. He married one after the.
Were they the Irish? The Irish?
Yeah.
I
Or
believe she was
Alright.
Irish.
Because the Irish were the kind of like the first
the
slaves.
oldest ones? Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
he was Irish, and he came over as an indentured servant.
That's what Ryan
See,
was
right
just telling
there.
us.
So, wait, he actually
Yeah, that's where he
married.
housed them.
Oh, okay.
He actually married the white servant.
Get the hell outta
after
here.
the wife passed away.
I figured because the Irish were the first slaves, and then somehow when they started exploring
I gotta make.
So,
Sorry.
to the house.
Thank you, man. So I figured they had slaves here though. What do you say?
One of them will tap you on the
Down there right now.
Have a seat.
Oh, there is a real video, huh?
Is the door that originally went into the other side of the house, which was the house kitchen. When you're outside, if you look, the house, there's the main house, and then there's a smaller house next to it. The smaller house next to it was the original house that when they purchased the property, that would existed, and then they built this house. They're moving into here. It's approximately 70% original. There was some things that were changed. None of the furniture, none of the items, nothing in here is original except for one product over there that'll be in the fireplace. Everything else was purchased by us as the organization, or Lehigh County Historical Society. This room was changed slightly. That door was added to it so you can get to the kitchen. So this door would close so he could have his office, and then you could move between the dining room and the kitchen easily. The mantle in there was changed out in the 1800s by the Deschlers or the Dileys at one point just to modernize it. When modernize it meant like the 1800s. But this was always, it always will be the kitchen that they built. There's 8 fireplaces in the house, so they would have to provide wood for 8 fireplaces. There's a lot. The ceilings are very high. That showed prominence and a lot of money because in houses, space meant a lot. So this you could almost put another floor in there area. So as the house is so big and so high, it's built to be prominent because he came from being poor. He accumulated a lot of money. Money produces status and social.
Right.
Social produces political status. So he was moving his way up into political status when he bought and built this house. So you move in here. If you notice, there's a lot of beautiful woodworking here. The dentile woodwork along the top. This is very ornamental. This would have been their showroom. Basically, when you brought your friends over, you were going to have a party, you were going to sit around and talk. As a political figure, you would want to show your prominence. And this is where they would be. So this would be their sitting room. And then the fireplace, the only item that's original from the house is the fireplace back there, which is GT 1768. 1768 is when the house was built. The colors on the wall are not original. Originally there was wallpaper on the wall. We have not figured out what the wallpaper is, but we found the wallpaper glue that's still there. It's painted blue. But there was wallpaper. The wallpaper wouldn't have been made in the United States. It would have been made in England. So the doors are original. The main doors. The original doors went all the way up to the top of that. That glass window up there would not have existed during the George Taylor house. After George Taylor, they had cut the doors, put that in so that it could tilt, and then you can let breeze through because there was no air conditioning back then.
Okay.
The front and the rear door lines up so the air can flow through the way it was designed. And you can see there, sorry. The original, you can see the original paint over there where they scratched the away.
Where?
And they took that all off of there. The only thing they changed physically with the house over all these years was one time there was a wall that ran over here to about here and created a hallway down there, and then they removed that when they turned it back into this door.
And this is original.
All the wood's original, yep.
Oh, wow, yeah.
All
Is
these-
this what it came from here in the area, or was it imported?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was from imported. That was brought when they built the house. They were building the courthouse in Easton.
Right.
When they finished the courthouse in Easton, they came right here. So they had an army of people to build the courthouse in the circle. Do you guys know where Easton is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The center of the Easton, you have that
Yeah.
circle, right? That
Yeah.
round. That's where the original courthouse was.
Right.
Not in the middle of the circle, but just off of it.
Okay.
When they finished building that army of people came up here and built this. So they probably built this, probably brought that wood up here with them. Because to pull it from here, they would have had to process it, cut it, and all that. Some of this house was prefab when it was built, so that tells me that this wood was brought from somewhere else. I mean, it's possible, but that, I know like some of it was prefabbed upstairs in the attic. You can see it's pre-made and just brought here and put up.
Okay.
So that tells me that some things in here are prefab. So this would be the entertainment area where you would entertain your
That's right.
people, party, yeah.
Yeah. Where's the mole? Right? What's it called? Mole? Mule. Wait, M-U-L-L. Where's the wine? Is it called mole?
So in here would be the ladies. This is where the ladies would hang out.
Oh, we have a separate room. We have our own group.
Rumpelstiltskin.
That's where all the good gossip happens.
I bet.
Do you remember that? Is
Yeah.
it, what is
Yeah,
it, Sleeping Beauty? Where she actually...
Oh, when she pricks on
Where she
the
pricked
spinning
her-
wheel.
Yeah, look, I never seen
That's
that in
Sleeping
real
Beauty.
Oh,
Right.
wow. No, this one was
I've never seen
the
one in
children's
real
stories.
life.
Remember?
Oh
The
my
children's
God.
stories. What was that?
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there. Exactly.
This is so cool. Is that, what is...
It is not original.
Yeah.
None of the furniture in the
Okay.
house is original.
Oh, okay.
We're slowly bringing back furniture and bringing
From
stuff
that
that's
era.
period.
Right.
It is tough. We have a list. There's a list of the house, but the list is very generic. It said like 30 works of art. And that's all it said. So we're slowly, the money we get donated by like you guys, it goes to buying furniture. Like we bought this sofa, we go on Marketplace, we go on eBay and buy stuff just to make it.
Grapes on top.
Oh, workmanship. Yeah. It's nice.
Neat detail.
Yeah. So you try to buy things from like that era, or like
As
a
close-
replica of what it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As close to as possible.
Yeah. This is cool. So this is where the ladies hung out.
We think.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't there.
No,
obviously.
yeah. But I'm
Everybody,
just
like,
saying, like, what gave you the impression that women were here and the entertainment was there?
We have the
No.
spinning wheel.
Because we have the spinning wheel that we are made to.
And really, the spinning wheel is appropriate because they were
Yeah.
rich, so they wouldn't have
Yeah.
spun their own. They would
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
bought it
yeah,
from somewhere.
right.
But we brought it in just because it was pure.
No, but I'm just saying, in that era, the men and the women, like, they had their separate stuff.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Now over here we have a candle.
That's when like
Candle?
women started.
We have this candle's a courting candle.
Okay.
So if your daughter was visiting with a young boy
Yeah.
and dad said, well, you only have 10 minutes, so they would set, you could move the candle
Like a timer.
to the
No
timer.
way. No, I've never seen anything like that. That's a courting candle. That candle.
They sent it to them. It really is. Like, I'm gonna get you one.
As the candle burned down when it got to the top of that, then it would be time for the young man to go home. So,
You got a lot of time
you
then.
know,
That's
it,
a lot of time.
That's not time.
Yeah, a lot of time.
it could be adjusted
Yeah, I get one now.
Is that what
Did she
you
bring an extra
lower
one in her underneath her dress just in case, you know?
depending on the status of the young man. Or
You know, back in the 1700s, you know they had something up their sleeve too.
People are people. Now we're already-
Hey, when there's a will, there's a way. I don't care. 2020 or
There's
1776.
another one.
Oh, that one, she stayed out too long. She's been out late. She's gonna get, you know.
Around the-
Actually, in the-
He needs to
It's
leave.
time to go home.
That's what we're here to see. That's what we're here to
So
see.
the courting candle, as used in that way, was more of a Victorian type of thing. But in the 1700s, the candlesticks started out like that mainly because the candles were commonly made out of tallow, which got very soft as the candles got warm. So it needed something to help hold the candle up.
Okay.
As time progressed and they used more beeswax in the candles, then they didn't necessarily need it for the function, and that's when they started using it as the courting candles.
Is there Wi-Fi in here?
I saw you on yourself. You definitely gave it away.
Just kidding, I was kidding.
At the Betsy Ross house, when they go into like their costume, and there would be kids or people there asking them questions of 2020, and she's like, "What are you talking about? It's 1976." It's so funny. They stay in character,
That's awesome.
and the people will try, and it's just like, "I'm sorry," and, like she had no idea, they have no clue.
That's
What is
next
a
level
cell
for us.
phone?
We
Yeah.
could aspire to that.
Yeah.
Yes, we're working on it slowly but surely. This is, our organization has regrouped over the last few years.
Yeah.
So we're
I've
building things
come
up
to
again.
a lot of your events.
Have you?
Cake for Christmas, 4th of July, came today.
Halloween, come for Halloween.
What's
We're gonna
Halloween?
try to do Halloween. We're gonna
Is
do
George Taylor gonna make a, what do you have to say?
This is spiritual.
The candles that George Taylor's gonna come back. No, just kidding.
No seances allowed, but yes, we're planning on ghost stories for Halloween.
Oh.
Also, there are ghost
I'm
stories about this
totally
house.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen and heard anything?
So, yes. I've heard doors closing
Okay.
when there was no one around. I know you had more experiences, but we're gonna compile more of these
Yeah.
and tell them more at
So
Halloween.
you think
In
there's,
Oh, there
There's
are
There has to
definitely,
be.
Has there ever-
are definitely spirits.
I'm not
Yes.
taking it home.
Has there ever been a paranormal walk in here? Any type of investigation? Would you guys be open for that?
Oh, I was here.
Not, well, we've been here, but that's something that we are,
I know the sun ended
Arranging
in
for
Bethlehem
October.
a couple of years back with ghost hunters. So I don't know
Oh,
if you guys
yeah.
are interested in that.
Looking into
that's.
letting someone come in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
So,
Yes,
so
we're-
what
we're
have you
planning
heard?
on that
Doors
for
slamming? Have you heard voices or footsteps?
I've never heard footsteps. I've had other things happen.
right.
Uh-oh.
I've had where the alarm went off, where I asked a question by myself.
That is so cool.
And then all of a sudden the alarms went off in the building.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So, and I felt things. And
I do know that there's
My
an
Yeah,
Eastern
it's
Ghost
not much
Tour.
to review.
They showed us. I went with you actually. We went to the Eastern Ghost Tour.
Oh, yeah,
where
yeah.
there's-
Oh, okay.
That there has been Civil War soldiers like haunting this one alley because some of them were buried there. So they took us through the alley where the Civil War soldiers
oh, wow.
haunt the alley.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, I'm right. I'll tell you something.
My
Oh, yeah,
son
we
does
saw
not
that.
like the master bedroom. The very first time he went in that room, and ever since then, he is always uncomfortable.
That master bedroom. You're talking
Really?
there?
You got-
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys
That is,
tour-
yeah, that's the room
And see, now I'm drawn to that room.
I had today. Yeah, but serious.
Shall we go?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I find that I stay.
Okay, that's thank you, bro. Great job.
Take pictures, you never know what you'll
Oh
find.
my gosh, yeah.
Especially the darker ones. Like,
All right, you know what, simmer down. I didn't even know you.
Oh,
were
sorry. Oh, I thought
upstairs.
you
All the times I've been here, they've never showed me the upstairs.
Well, now we gotta talk about the master bedroom, so.
Where's K-Roll?
Yeah, where is she? Where is this girl?
Oh my God, it's so cute.
So this isn't part of the tour?
No, it's just pretty.
Oh, okay.
No, but all the times I've been here, they never let us come upstairs. That's why.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends on the number of volunteers we have or how many people are here that they may adjust it. This isn't too bad. One 4th of July, I was doing the upstairs parts of the tour, so I was stuck in this room for several hours at a time. And these windows do not open.
oh
There's
no.
no ventilation. Today's
Is
not
this
so
sort
bad.
of a scare? Nope.
No, I figure we'll start in a more neutral room. I don't know. Nobody has mentioned anything about this room, so no,
This is the room yet.
this isn't the room, so we'll give you like a base to start with.
Okay.
But 4-poster beds like this were very common for the
Yeah.
period. You see the ropes underneath there, so that's what's holding your mattress up. And over time, those ropes loosen, so you need to pull them tight, right?
Chamber
So good
pot.
night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. The
Oh,
mattresses,
that's
yes.
Cute.
The mattresses were stuffed with straw. Usually clean straw did not have bugs in it, but it happens. They would also have a feather bed stuffed with down on top, so they slept very comfortably. With the canopy beds like this, in the summertime you could have a sheer linen drape to keep the bugs out, because they would definitely have windows open and get some air in here.
Yeah.
And then in
And
the-
this doesn't help them out.
no, not at all. And then in the winter you could have heavier drapes for warmth and also privacy.
And the pail underneath?
Yes, chamber pots. You'll see there is no bathroom in this entire house.
Oh, really? Oh, our house is really.
So that's where you pee-pee?
Oh, yes.
And everything else.
Yes.
And everything else.
Everything else. Yes, and the tailors were
That
lucky
is
enough,
so
they
cool.
had
I took a
servants
picture.
to empty that for them.
Okay. Nice.
I love this.
Really nice. Oh, that,
You see, we
that's
have,
fine. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm glad.
sure. Yes, the rooms here do have closets, cabinets. You're welcome to open it if
Oh,
you like.
yes.
Again, it's the original hardware. But
Oh,
that's,
wow.
that alone is a sign of wealth, because it was not common for houses of the day to have any
Yeah.
closets.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
So most clothes were
Somebody was
stored
having a
in
seance.
chests like this.
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's for the master bedroom.
Picture right there. That's dope.
Oops, sorry.
You're good. You're really good.
We were asking the guide, I forgot his name, like where the slaves would be.
Oh, Jason.
Jason.
Nice, look at
So,
that.
yeah,
Nice, right?
This is the room.
That's the one right there? Okay,
That's the master.
No, this is the room?
Look at this bed.
really
It's so
neat
pretty.
It's nice and sunny. It's,
Ah.
but this one has the biggest closets. You have
This is a nice room, though.
This room is nice, yeah.
This would be nice in modern day.
Exactly.
So this is, what have you
Much
heard
more
here?
storage here.
What have you heard here?
You have to pay a lot for that, for this type of look.
Anything, but
Yeah, you're drawn
tell
to
you.
this room, right? That's what you said.
right. I enjoy being in this room. I'm very comfortable in here.
It's a nice
part of
room.
this
It's
is lots of
inviting.
sun. I like it in here, but my son, he's strolling around here somewhere with his girlfriend. He does not like this room. He's like, no, this room creeps me out. I don't know.
Well, we'll see pictures later.
Just to say, well, it's the proof.
Yeah, right? I should have brought together.
Now this room, I'm so upset. All of the nails, were hand forged, and
Okay.
this room had a bunch of loose nails, but people have pulled them from the boards. I used to be able to pull them out, just to show you what they look like, but people have removed
People have
them.
removed them to keep them.
Yes, they
Because
have
they're
them
from here.
souvenirs.
That's pretty neat.
This is so cool.
You're good.
So again, most clothing would be stored in trunks or hung on pegs, but they could use dressers. I think it was Colonial Williamsburg just recently put out a video of showing exactly how much clothing you could fit into a dresser.
Oh, that's interesting.
Women wore many, many layers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything's thick and big. Like,
Yeah, all of
Yes,
it.
right now
I
I'm
know
wearing
you're hot.
not really.
Oh.
I'm wearing working class clothing, and I have a shift, a pair of stays, which is like a corset, which is more comfortable than a bra. I have 2 petticoats on, or skirts.
Oh my god.
And
I would be
my
dying.
my bed coat, my apron. And this is just for working class. This is typical of what working
So
class
what
people
did
would wear.
the socialite?
So they would have more layers, but again, they start with the shift. That's like basically like a nightgown. A chemise, just a white linen layer that's going to be closest to your body that absorbs all of your sweat and oils and everything.
Okay.
Linen is a very cooling fabric. It wicks the moisture away. So a lot of people say that they are cooler wearing linen than wearing like tank tops, you know, in the summer because it's actively drawing the moisture away. But it's a very durable fabric too, so that you can boil it. You know, you can scrub it clean. You can hang it in the sun to dry. So regardless of your class, you would have multiple shifts. That's your underwear. Men had, their equivalent would be a shirt. And again, that was made of linen and that serves as their shirt. It's their night shirt.
Okay.
Just kidding.
It's their underwear.
Did we just get a ghost there? You about to go viral right now?
Yeah, right.
Going live?
What the heck?
So the upper class women would have the shift, the stays, petticoats, at least 2 or 3. You'd also have a pair of pockets underneath. You would have some kind of skirt support. So depending on the era and the type of dress you're wearing, you could have either pocket hoops or panniers, and that would spread your skirt out to the side, or you would have a bum roll to put a little more junk in the trunk for the back.
She said a bum roll. That's what you used to call it, a bum roll?
It's called a bum roll, yes.
That might be my
it's
dance name.
basically
My
a
stage
pillow
name.
that sits right there. Absolutely. Yeah, so definitely lots and lots of layers. Caps were pretty much always worn indoors. It's going to protect your hair, keep it clean because there's no bathroom. You're not showering.
Yeah, where's the bath? Like, where did they go?
There's no
Outside
bathroom.
or chamber?
Chamber
pot?
pots. There may have been an outhouse, but
Typically not?
typically chamber pots.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw the
There was
bottle still
also,
up.
I forget what it's called, but it's a dish. It basically looks like a gravy boat that women could use. Yes, because there was no underpants, as you know, you're just wearing the skirts, and
Right.
so you just hold
Oh,
the gravy boat under.
jeez, yeah,
On the go. So, but this is their walk-in closet, so this was a nice.
Oh, it's a closet.
Nice.
Wow.
Yes.
I thought it was a baby's room or something.
Hello, show of wealth. For any visitors that come up, this is the first thing they're going to see as they reach the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Is that they have a separate
did
space
now.
specifically for your clothing.
Is that a bathroom? Like a fancy one?
Yes, that's the fancy chamber.
Oh!
Oh, no.
So types are not
Can you
original.
imagine?
They're
Dressed,
just
yeah.
in here.
Look at it.
At least you get a good view of
That
that.
sunlight coming through is nice.
That'd be a dope picture, right?
Yeah, that's sunlight. Yeah.
Oh, you get the clothes, bro. Let me see the clothes.
I'm gonna try to
The
get
hat? Oh, shit.
Let me get the whole one.
Yeah, I know.
Fireplaces in every single spot.
There's
I didn't see the other.
Yep, there's one in here.
Fireplace in every
Oh, this looks like
room.
like a bunk bed like we would make now. Kind of.
Yeah, the trundle bed.
Yeah. Trunk bed?
Trundle.
Trundle bed, okay. Learn something every day.
Slide that out for sleeping and put it back away so they have room to play.
There's a kid's room.
Oh, that's dope. The rocking
That's how we
chair.
have it set up. Now, when the
It looks original, don't it?
they were
All the stuff
in
in
their
there,
50s,
furniture?
Their one living son
Yeah,
was
they
an
tried to
adult
buy
grown.
stuff from that era.
From the
But
era, yeah.
subsequent families
So that would
that
be the
lived
baby's
here
crib.
could have.
They did a great job.
Have their children over here.
Okay.
Doll thing.
Oh yeah, made out of like, it looks like a handkerchief.
Little bonnet.
That's pretty cool.
And it was very typical to have a rocking chair next to a rocking crate,
Yeah.
so you could sit with your foot on the table.
The workmanship is crazy, right?
Crazy to shoot here.
Yeah, that's what we used to talk to them about that. They probably would let us too.
A nanny, it could have been.
It's a good idea.
Donation.
Well, we didn't have to just have the wife and the girl when they died. Yeah, James Allen's son. That's what it looks like. That's why I said it. The artifacts in this case are thought to be the original construction of the kitchen. Oh, that's cool.
ask Jason, who was downstairs when we heard that noise?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or is that for the tour to make people come back?
Yeah, I'm like,
They adding stuff, adding spice to the tour.
I'm gonna ask, when we go downstairs, I'm gonna see if he was pulled, if anyone came into the house while we were up here. Animal bones.
They're gonna be like, what are you talking about?
If he says that he wasn't in the house, then we know it was James, not James Allen, George Taylor.
George Taylor.
Just do a cleansing.
What is the stuff in the cases basically?
So
Artifacts?
those are artifacts that they found, some of them while excavating the kitchen.
Okay, okay. Cool. Thank you. Very nice. That video that we saw
Yes.
downstairs, is that on YouTube, I would imagine?
That's a good question. I honestly don't know. And it's
You get the chamber pot
really
now?
musty. Yeah.
You got the, I'll make sure it gets on BET, I promise.
Oh,
No, I'm just playing.
We heard some noise down here, we thought maybe it was a ghost.
No, it's just.
It was just.
Oh, you should have lied. He was gonna lie, man.
We're outside.
He was gonna lie. I would have lied.
You ever hear anything upstairs?
No, I took pictures to look later, but I don't have my glasses, so I can see if I see a little orb or something.
Or orbs or something? I didn't know that.
I'll look
Well,
at
if you see anything, post it on social media and tag us. So.
Please like us on Facebook. You can see our events.
I'm already on Facebook. That's what I told them. Look at it.
Yeah,
I'm all
pictures.
about
If you got pictures of it, please. Post pictures for us.
Yeah, for sure. I have fun.
Oh, is that video that you played, is that on YouTube anywhere? The one you just played for us? The little 10-minute
That's
video?
not my thing. I went in.
Oh, that is not.
That's
It's not? Really?
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was for.
That was good.
Yeah.
You want it, bro?
They brought wine in. They
Put
brought
some?
everything. You can like eat and drink for free over
Oh.
Oh, that's right. I have a strawberry from
Yeah, it's really. We use it as a souvenir shop. We're
Oh,
trying to
okay,
transfer it back into the summer kitchen.
Yeah, you can tell because the fireplace is so big. Like that's what they.
Out of the house. So you cook out here and then bring the food into there.
Right. So, what about the slave quarters? I think it was upstairs. How do
I
you,
don't know.
you can't get to that?
I don't know what the official place like where the slave quarters are.
Okay, no
Where the
problem.
Slave quarters.
It's usually when I went to the Betsy Ross house. It was in the cellar
Uh-huh.
downstairs where they used to chill the food.
Yeah.
That's where she was quartered
And,
because.
and do they have like a spot that's set up in that? Because
So when I went there, they stayed in character, and they actually had a slave downstairs. Honestly, it was
Okay,
crazy. So
that's
the
what
cellar,
Sweet said I
and
was
then
gonna
she was like washing clothes by hand like this, and Betsy Ross like they just show you this is where she talks to you, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Betsy Ross's slave," and she talks in her in that time era. But they said usually it was in the cellar, so they would be in the cellar. Betsy Ross's house, the cellar was
Oh, it was in here with
well,
you?
in the
I'll
attic
tell
then,
you, I don't-
or the basement.
I don't know because there's nothing really
Yeah.
like
You can't really.
when you look at it, there's no living space down there. And you go to
Right.
the attic and there's really no living space there. So
There wasn't any living
There was no
space for her
there was no
either.
living space on the slave ship either.
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Not to be segment over.
No, there wasn't a living space for her either. But
Lay
that's
down,
when
get
she,
down.
when
It was set up.
Well, he was on 300 acres, so it could have been further down.
Yeah, it could have been anywhere. I agree, Steve. I agree.
Because possibly there was a barn out there that's not dairy.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
That
Like
makes sense.
when I went there, like I'm the only one who's crazy about history like this, but she talked, and that's where they had her.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
sir.
coming, guys.
Thank you, thank
Come
you.
back- come
Thank you
back
for having us, man.
Halloween.
Hey, are those ready to roll up?
If you'd like, I don't know what you're gonna get off.
We need to get that fucking shit. I need to get that.
cool.
I like this guy. Sorry.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, thanks for having us. You did a great
Back
job.
in October.
Yes, I will. I will. Do you know if that stuff in there's ready? The stuff that's drawing, is that ready to go? Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Okay, okay, bro.
We have a friend, a coworker, who dresses up in colonial times and she acts out the enactments of
Oh, okay.